What is going on, you motherfucking martards out there? It's your boy A-Track Brown. PW Hustle. We back with a fucking review. It's been a long time since we had a review. And,
Wait. Hold up, Track. We ain't doing
Hold on. Don't even go there. I'm not, just give me a minute, all right? We all know the deal. Everybody watching, everybody in the PW Hustle Facebook group and the Solid Monster Facebook group, and those who have the fortunate blessings to be on the A-Track Brown page, you know, the Tony Flags page. Let me just tell you this. I was wrong, okay? Cody showed up. I mean, you see the reaction. You knew I knew he was showing up anyway. But, you know, it is what it is. Before we get into that, though, I have to introduce my broadcast partner, my co-host, my colleague, my brother, my Hustleite family member, the most magnanimous, the most scholarly, the most fucking objective, the most effervescent, and the most glorious man in IWC, YWC, PWC punditry. I'll add PWC to this shit. The host of the Pro Wrestling Reflection, Professor Chabelo de la Cruz. What's going on, man?
What's going on, A-Track? And you know what? I need to get some money from the WWE because, you know, hear me out right now. Hear me out, Hustleites, because for the last 6 months, WWE's been using every word in the thesaurus to say how hyped they are for WrestleMania. And they picked the word stupendous, right, Track? They picked that word out the ass. They've already overused it, oversaturated it. But what you just did, Track, by introducing the professor it's exhibit A, B, C, D, that they watch the hustle, that they watch you introduce me, giving me the magnanimous one, the effervescent one, the glorious one. All I just need to do is add stupendous. Once I add stupendous, y'all motherfuckers owe me some money. You owe the PW Hustle some money because y'all copied from us. We're this little, podcast. We're this little channel that just makes news, makes waves. A-Track makes waves. You know what? And for A-Track, I applaud you. You are humble. You admit, when you're wrong. So I'm representing Lance Merle. I'm representing Scott Wheeler. I'm representing Derek McDonald. I'm representing John Vieira, A-Track Black. I'm representing all the people that are looking at you because they got receipts, man. Wait, and let me ask you this. You called Cody Rhodes on a PW Hustle podcast, the Dame Dash of wrestling. I remember this correctly, right? He's Dame Dash to all those WWE shills. Well, Dame Dash turned into Jay-Z because he went corporate.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He turned into Jay-Z in a blink of an eye. Randy Rhodes turned into Beyonce.
All right. So check this out. Cody Rhodes went from being Dame Dash to Jay-Z. He went from being a nigga from Harlem to just another nigga from Marcy. But, cough up a lung where I'm from, Marcy, son. Ain't nothing nice. What did Cody Rhodes do? Matter of fact, let me tell y'all how this shit works. Let me tell you, in fact, how what Cody Rhodes did was an ill fucking move. My man left the WWE, right? He left the WWE. He helped start AEW. He helped put the motherfuckers on the map. All right? He came out, and what did he do? What did he do when he came out in an AEW show? What did he do when he had that mallet? What did he do? Sledgehammer. Destroyed Triple H's fucking share, his little throne. Destroyed that shit, right? And then what did he do after that? He destroyed NXT. He destroyed NXT so bad that he made Vince McMahon destroy NXT. So, let's look at the timeline here. Cody leaves WWE. Cody goes and starts AEW all by himself with no help from fucking Tony Khan. What did Tony Khan really do? Add some little money there? Yeah, whatever. He goes to fucking AEW. He starts that shit, puts Kenny Omega on the map, puts the Young Bucks on the map, keeps fucking Jericho's career alive. Because that's what WWE niggas do. They help keep careers alive. Ask the motherfucking tribal chief. Look at the careers he kept alive. Look at the careers he helped start. And now Cody Rhodes went to AEW for one reason only, to destroy Triple H. And not only did he destroy Triple H, he gave that nigga a heart attack. He gave him a heart attack, took his ass out of the business, came back, had Vince McMahon get rid of his ass just to bring back Cody at WrestleMania. That's a fucking G move. That's what Marcy niggas do. That's what Brooklyn niggas do. They come back and they get their fucking money that they would fucking earn, that Tony Khan didn't want to give them. Nigga, you have fucking money to buy ROH, but you couldn't give me my $3 million? Fuck out of here. Unless I hear it's $3 million. But whatever fucking money it is, Vince McMahon gave him that shit. That nigga said, watch what I fucking do. I'm going to diss Triple H. I'm going to destroy his fucking product. I'm going to destroy him. Then I'm going to fucking come back. I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. It ain't where I've been. It's where I'm about to go.
That's it.
The way it is. That's just the way it is, yo.
That's
just the way it is. This is why WWE is the fucking epicenter of wrestling, and AEW is just a t-shirt company with Samoa Joe. Let me stop all that bullshit. Now listen,
this is gospel. I actually am applauding A-Track Brown because he is actually taking some knowledge. You hear that, JoJo? You hear that? You might be laughing right now, but you know what? He's telling you the truth of what WWE represents. This is the funniest thing because we don't know where WWE is going in the next couple of years. We don't know where AEW is going. But you know what? I'm going to say this track, and a lot of people can come at me. Because they always do.
Oh,
you know
will.
What? It's me again.
Matter of fact, hold on. Because I'm the king of this reaction shit. I just got to read some of the comments that we're getting right now. If you go to the PW Hustle fucking react, if you go to you are on the PW Hustle page, but if you go to the Cody Rhodes reaction, this is what you'll see. Oh, shut up. Go baby cry. Who was the loser yelling like an idiot? A-Track, and this is from Tion Coupon. A-Track went Iron Sheik on Cody. Good grief. Still the king of reactions. I take it you're not very pleased. Cody Rhodes returned. This is how you get the mark, son. This is how you get them in. This is how you work the crowd. This is how you work yourself. You know what I'm saying? That reaction wouldn't have been what it is if I didn't keep kayfabe alive and saying I'll believe it when I see it. And if I do see it, you're going to get the greatest reaction you ever fucking had in your life. AEW people going to love it. WWE people going to hate it. But WWE people going to love this fucking reaction. Or going to love this review. Because this is not just a review of WrestleMania. No. This is a whole conversation about Cody. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole conversation about the business in general. Because let's look at this shit. Okay, let's put this in perspective.
Go ahead.
Can you really be mad at Cody for leaving? My man, this is all about business. All right? This is show business. It's not show friendship. It's not show loyalty. If the man wants a certain amount of money and they couldn't match that money, he was going to leave and go somewhere else and get that money. And that's what he did. Now,
let me just say this too, because I have... you and I talked, we texted and all that stuff. We said all this stuff on the PWSL Facebook fan page, and I just felt it was more than the money to me. Of course, he got more money than what Tony Khan was going to offer. I'm not even denying that. But I still feel in my conspiracy heart that Cody Rhodes is getting more in his contract. Not only he got his gear, not only he got his music, not only he got his AEW persona, but I want to say this. Maybe you might think I'm crazy. He's got a piece of NXT. Because NXT does belong to Dusty Rhodes, and not like stock ownership, but Dusty Rhodes had a hand in NXT.
No. Dusty Rhodes was the one who made NXT, who changed, who said, "Yo, this is what we need to do." That's why it is what it is. And I've been saying that before. People want to give Triple H credit for all of that. You can give Triple H credit for raiding the Indies, but that format that we got for NXT where it changed, that was Dusty. So yeah.
So in essence, Cody in his contract might get a piece of NXT, and he's got the Nightmare Factory, Hustleites. So let's not forget that. So all the, while Vince and Bruce Pritchard and Nick Khan might go after the NCAA wrestlers, little Cody Rhodes and his Nightmare Factory, he's got a go-go. He's got some people in that factory. So let's not be surprised about some indie people. And by the way, with that moniker about, Vince McMahon doesn't want an indie wrestler. Well, Cody Rhodes was an indie wrestler. I mean, he left, did the indie scene, went to New Japan, got into AEW, which is in Vince's terminology, indie. So Vince does like some indie people. No.
You can't. No. Vince actually in the WWE had to admit that AEW was competition when they got sued by MLW. You know what I'm saying? They can't monopolize shit because you got AEW there. They're not the indies. So we can't, but we know for a fact now Vince had to double back and say, you know what? It's not the indies. It is. It's competition. That's why they took Cody Rhodes back.
I got to retort back. Just like you outmark the marks with your reaction and saying you reeled in everybody with the Cody Rhodes reaction. Vince McMahon reeled in all the marks of the legalese. I even knew that legalese that he was speaking because he knew how to twist it. But anyway, neither here nor there. This is the Wrestlemania review, supposedly, of the PWS, but we ain't doing that. This was the 8-track Brown was wrong review show. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is about Ronda Rousey botching in the main event, well, the co-main event of WrestleMania, because we gotta talk about that track. We gotta talk about the only fuck up that Vince McMahon did, because I think Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch, they should have been on Sunday. They should not have been lower on the card on Saturday, because I disagree with that. They should have been the co-main event on the Sunday night. That's just my humble opinion. But Ronda is not a wrestler. Ronda was trying to be like Ronda was wrestling like a young buck, but she's not a young buck. That's the way it looks like to me.
No, I have to say something. We have to address the small elephant in the room. The WWE has Ronda Rousey, who, in my opinion, isn't terrible. I like heel Ronda. Heel Ronda Rousey was the shit. Personally, I don't know why they brought her back on some face shit. I guess because she was a mother or whatever. But so far, with the exception of what we haven't seen her in the ring, Paige Van Zandt is already better than fucking Ronda Rousey. She's already more charismatic. We haven't really heard a promo, and hopefully she can really, like, she can talk. But as far as, her personality is concerned and this character that they're building for her, it's already better than Ronda Rousey, in my opinion. So I think when it comes to the female MMA fighters, even though Paige Van Zandt wasn't really shit in this wrestling game right now, I think she has more of an edge on Ronda Rousey. And maybe just because they're taking their time, they're just not throwing her ass out there like that just yet. But yeah, we'll talk about this pay-per-view. I'm not gonna go, we're not gonna fucking do move for move shit. It's mad fucking late, and I don't want to be here all fucking night. But at the end of the day, the theme of this show.
We got the important shit out the way.
Yeah. 8-track Brown. I was wrong. I even lost a bet. Tony Flags, you see that All Elite shit up there. That WWE version of All Elite on the Tony Flags page. Because I had to change the avatar because I lost. I lost a bet. I'm a man of my word. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to John. Good shit. Because I was saying that it was going to be the take. Now let me tell you something. I said I wouldn't believe it till I saw it, but I knew Cody was coming. I really didn't think he was going to be Seth Rollins' opponent, though. I really didn't think that. I thought it was going to be Taker because everything was there. You had the Hall of Fame. You had Texas. You had Vince McMahon inducting him. You had Vince McMahon telling Seth that, I'm going to choose your opponent, which I mistakenly took for him announcing his opponent. So that made me think that he was going to do that until somebody told me different. Then came Supercard of Honor, which we'll get into. Supercard of Honor came. We got a surprise, but no Cody. And so that's when I said, okay, yeah, he's definitely in the WWE. But I didn't think that he would be Seth's opponent. I thought they would save him for after Mania. I thought they would save him for Raw.
Me too.
Which
I thought it was gonna be the Raw after Mania kind of thing, so he could get that big pop and entrance and all that stuff.
Exactly. And they gave him a WrestleMania moment. They gave him a WrestleMania win. How long till all of that starts going downhill? I don't know. Do I see Cody beating Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns for that belt, for them belts? Absolutely not. Do I see Cody Rhodes being champion? At some point, yeah. How long is this deal for?
I really don't know. I mean, let's just go with the short term, maybe a 3-year deal. I think we should be we'll go with the minimum of 3.
If it's a 3-year deal, I actually see him returning to AEW. If it's a 5-year deal, he ain't going back nowhere. But if it's a 3-year deal, I see him returning to AEW. I really do. But
it's let's get into the fucking pay-per-view. It's like you said. You know what it is, Drag? Let me just say this. It's business. It's always business. I think the fans really overlook, whether you're a WWE shill, AEW shill, or whatever, these guys and gals will make a business decision. I mean, that's it. That's whether you want to wrestle for 20 minutes or 25 minutes and that's what you consider being happy, then fine, go to AEW. If you want to be a star, you want to be larger than life and get some money, then go to WWE. But you better you're going to make your decisions based on what a company can offer you. So,
exactly.
Toni Storm made her decision to go to AEW. Was it a great debut? Well, that's debatable. Some people said it was lackluster. I thought it was, I thought
it was just, man, she had better matches. I thought she could have had a better match. But I didn't think it sucked. I just thought,
right,
whatever. But she got a good pop, which was good. So
right. And Samoa Joe, he made a business decision going to AEW or ROH, whichever way he's gonna, whichever way his career will be directing towards him. But that's the thing. Happiness is defined by what you want out of the wrestling business. And as a fan, I can't be mad. I'm not going to say, well, Samoa Joe is nothing. That's one of the stupidest things that people do on, trolling on Twitter. Like, oh, he was never.
Oh, yeah. You can look at the Hustle reaction on that one, on my reaction, and you see people hating, oh, he's not a star, or who's this non-draw. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers was not saying that shit when he was at NXT. Stop the bullshit. And the funny thing is, They going after Joe. They're trying to play Joe. They're trying to troll and whatever. Joe didn't leave the WWE. They let him go. This is like people who were burning Richard Sherman's jersey when he left Seattle. He didn't choose to leave Seattle. They let him go. If you get traded somewhere, unless you know that athlete asked for a trade, the fuck you burning his jersey for? It ain't his fault. Don't get mad at him. Joe did not ask to leave. They released him. So you can stop saying this bullshit. And that's the whole thing I hate about this goddamn brand loyalty crap. Unless it's New Japan, who the fuck are you being loyal to? Why? I mean, we all know if you're a New Japan fan, you have to be loyal to New Japan, or else Sato will haunt you in your dreams and call you a coward. And we don't want no act of coward here. So we stay loyal to New Japan, even if New Japan gives us trouble and we get mad at New Japan. We say, fuck New Japan. But we keep coming back to New Japan. But point being, you're right. This is a business. This is what it is. Did I think this was going to happen? Absolutely not. No fucking way did I see this shit happening at all in the beginning. Because I'm like, there's no way this motherfucker's going to do this shit. I mean, now, from a fan's opinion, fuck all the talking, the trolling motherfuckers. This nigga is stupid. He's stupid. I mean, you got your money and you're willing to put up with whatever the fuck they're going to do to you. You better believe they're going to listen. If this man is treated, I will say he'll probably be treated a little bit better than he was the first time. But I don't really see high hopes for this dude. I really don't. I just don't, man.
What are we defining success, Track, for Cody Rhodes? He has to be the champion? Is that how you defined it? He already got, first of all, his debut.
Yes. That's how you got it. For a guy like Cody, that is success. He has to be the champion. They have to make him the face of the company at some point, which he already was in AEW. But he has to be, that temporary face for when he becomes champ.
He was the face of AEW. He was booed out the building. The fans kicked him out.
Dogs, but you know that man was the face. That was, listen, at the end of the day, that was the man they was pushing. That was the man they was giving reality shows to.
AEW fans, you ruined it for Cody. You had your man. You had him in the palm of your hands and you kicked him out. He didn't get released. You kicked him out. Tony Khan didn't do it. Tony Khan was offering him the world. You even said it, Track. They offered him a reality show, a game show.
No, not offered. They gave him to him. They gave it to him.
Yeah, they gave it to him. But you AEW fans, you kicked him out. Shame on y'all. Now he came back home. Dusty's happy in his.
Well, listen, when you go out there and you try to solve racism, you're going to make enemies, okay? That's just the way it is. Ask Martin Luther King. It wasn't safe for him, but at least Cody, didn't have to worry about a bullet. I take that back. Don't say that shit about MLK. I have people, fuck the Martin Luther King jokes. But anyway, he had a dream, and the fans couldn't care less. I was shocked by the fact that they turned on him. I thought that shit was all a setup. I thought he was gonna come out heel and all of this shit. Like I said, this nigga's he's smart for leaving to make money, but he's stupid for all of that shit that he talked. Because we all know Vince McMahon is a vindictive bastard, and who knows? Maybe in his old age he might not give a fuck like he used to. So we'll see.
Don't worry, Track. I mean, after Raw, it's going to be an hour block of reality. You got Miz and Mrs. And then after Miz and Mrs. is Rose to the Top on USA Network. Everything is working out for Cody. He's good.
He
won't get the game show one.
Here's my overall thoughts. And we'll move on from there. Cody Rhodes will not rise above Seth Rollins. I think he'll be neck and neck where Seth Rollins is right now. That's his status. He'll be as high as Seth Rollins. That's it. He ain't gonna be Roman. He ain't gonna be Brock. He ain't gonna be Cena. He ain't gonna be Triple H. He's gonna be probably booked in the same position as Seth Rollins. He'll be champ once in a while when they need him. If they run out of people, they'll go to him. I don't see too many big things for him. The WWE will make you a star. What AEW is doing compared to what WWE could do for him is by comparison amateur night. Even though they were setting him up right, they were. Yeah. I thought that it was only a matter of time before we saw Cody in some fucking Old Spice commercials, or some beer commercials or something. But that's where I see him going. But moving on to the show.
Wait, Track, let me just say, can I say one thing here?
Yeah.
Before we move on to WrestleMania? Because I want to talk about Super Card of Honor.
Oh, no, we'll get to that. Don't worry. Let's just get Mania out of the way. Okay. We'll get the Super Card of Honor. Let's get Mania out of the way.
Okay.
So, then you got night one of Mania, and Q, did this feel special to you? Outside of Cody, did this really feel special to you? Did the matches really come out and say WrestleMania matches? Or did they say souped up SmackDown, souped up Raw?
No. I think overall, every story, even Happy Corbin and Drew McIntyre was a story that was great for WrestleMania purposes. Baron Corbin, y'all sleep on Baron Corbin out of hate. I don't know what y'all people like smoking here, but Baron Corbin has been MVP of WWE for years. He has adapted to every situation that has been given to him. He's been sad Corbin. Now he's happy Corbin. I called him stupendous Corbin for this night.
Tonight I called him Dominican Corbin because that nigga looked like he was out of the fucking heights. All right? I'm like, this nigga look like, first of all, I was saying life is going to be in Waylon Mercy's hands. You know what I mean? Then I saw this nigga and I said, where's Usnavi? 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 I was like, this nigga look like he's out of the fucking heights. I'm like, yo, this nigga, look at the way this nigga's dressed right now. How you going to fight in that shirt and the fucking white pants? But, Bray Wyatt did it. Waylon Mercy did it. So Baron Corbin did it. It's funny, though, that you say this about Baron Corbin because I was talking to myself in preparing for this show. And I said, Baron Corbin has done what they've asked him to do. And I didn't care for it because I thought he just came off like mad. Because listen, here's the thing. A lot of people will sit there and say, "Oh, you guys hate on this shit because you don't like anything, this, that, and the third." For guys like me, who can probably speak for a lot of fans, I grew up watching dudes who were fucking special, who were fantastic, who took chicken shit and made it into chicken salad. A lot of these guys today don't do that. They deliver, but they don't have that panache. They don't have that grace. A lot of them don't anyway. Baron Corbin to me is not one of those dudes. But one thing I will say is I don't mind that Q and a few other people look at what Corbin has done with the story they have given him. Because here's the thing: it has been a long, continuous story. So I give him that. That's number one. But could I compare this build of this character to what, let's say, Impact did with Allie from what, and she went through 3 different fucking regime changes, but they kept that Allie character going, and they even ended it fucking awesomely.
Mm-hmm.
What they've done with Corbin has been awesome. What they've done with Corbin, not Corbin himself, in my opinion, but what they've done with Corbin has been awesome in the way that they had him go from riches to rags to riches. When he was the broke down nigga, that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
When he became happy Corbin, there are times where shit is meant to be corny, and you find it corny, but you like it. This didn't do that for me. It's not like Russell House, which was meant to be stupid, but I still was entertained by it. This didn't do that. At least not when he was happy Corbin. Then they added Madcap Moss, and I was like, where did they get this lost gay Mario brother from? This is not hitting. Maybe I could see the younger generation liking it, and a lot of them did. Not many, but a lot of them did. Our generation, few people liked it. Most people could give a fuck. But the people who did like it, I was kind of like Wardlow on the shit. I understand it. I'm not gonna hate like that. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, you're out of your fucking mind." If you're saying he's MVP, then yes, yeah, I'll say you're out of his fucking mind. But if you like it and you don't think this, you thought it was a good story, I won't really argue too much. But in that match itself, since you mentioned that, let's make that this first match. Let this be the first match we review. The match was not special. It was something I could see on SmackDown. It really was. Other than what he did at the end of the match, and his fucking swanton bomb outside the ring was incredible. I don't think I've seen him do that since Impact. Not to say that he hasn't done it in WWE. I just haven't seen it up until now.
Yeah, I think his injuries have forced him not to do that. His neck or whatever. So I was actually surprised that he went balls to the wall. But again, it's WrestleMania, so I guess he wanted to put that effort into it. That's the thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, was the build for that match to WrestleMania great? No, it wasn't great. I mean, because it's repetitive on SmackDown all the time. So I wish they don't do match after match after match on. But that's the way they do it. If they did segment, and then it was the match, then it'd there'd be more meaning for that. And I'm not going to dismiss that. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. They do matches too many times repetitively, and it's kind of like waters it down. But, I'm just talking about the character of Baron Corbin. I think people just don't appreciate the effort that Baron Corbin puts into what like you said, whether you think it's
that I do. I appreciate what he did. I may not have liked it, but I do appreciate it, and I give him a thumbs up for going out there and doing that, especially when he was a broke nigga. I thought that shit was hilarious. His facial expressions were fucking priceless, something that you would see on a talk show.
But the only thing they did wrong was they didn't show the rags to riches because it was so quick.
Yeah, that shit right there. That is the problem I had. It didn't build up to him just coming back. They just did a show in Vegas and boom, he won a bunch of money.
That was the only thing.
If they would have did some build where a few wrestlers gave him some cash here and there, and one of them was Drew Galloway, and he built shit off that, and then Drew Galloway was like, all I wanted was just my respect for you, for me just helping you. You know,
Yeah.
it's not even. I'm not saying make it all dramatic and complicated, but Drew could have came up with something. Like, half that shit was from half of it was from me, or some fucking trading places shit.
You would have had weeks of SmackDown segments cinematically of any wrestler.
Exactly,
Him a couple of
exactly.
dollars.
Instead of these stupid fucking matches and these stupid segments where they was telling dumbass jokes, you could have had the in between of him becoming Happy Corbin. It could have been better than that. So I'm 50-50 on it. I liked it when he was broke. I didn't care so much about Happy, and Madcap was just me saying, just end this shit already, please.
Yeah.
Please end this shit.
Yeah, but
you got to end Madcap and Corbin. And I will say this about Corbin: he wrestled one hell of a match. And what they did tonight, I mean, Corbin is not high on the card, so you can't look at it as something special. But they had Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre kick out of the End of Days, which no one has ever done before. So even though you'll have people say, "Oh, he kicked out. He kicked out. Look what they did. They had him kick out the End of Days." Yeah, so what? It's Baron Corbin. It's not like it was fucking Brock Lesnar, who people kicked out of F5 anyway. But imagine
if Corbin was higher on the card, like you said.
Exactly. If Corbin was made a big deal like that, even if he would have had a title, you treated him better and you gave him the world title, and Drew Galloway was to kick out. Even back when let's put it like this: if they would have had the world title, he would have been champion. They would have made him champ. I don't doubt that at all. I think that we would have had Drew Galloway versus Drew McIntyre versus Corbin for the world title, the big gold belt. That's what I'm talking about. What became the new Intercontinental title. So, and he would have kicked out. Then it would have felt special. It would have felt special. He's the champ. Not only is he the champ, you kicked out of his move and you beat him for the title. But moving on, you had the first match of the night, which was
let's get that. I mean, Rick Boogs, it was a fucked up injury, but the match was
that legit?
Yeah, that's legit. He tore his quads, so he's gonna be out for like 9 months because our girl Kelly, what's her name? Kelly Daenerys, the one that you go.
Yeah.
She said it was a quad, and he's gonna be out for like 6 to 9 months if it was a bad tear. So.
All right, but the match in itself, like I said, when I saw it, I was like, "That's SmackDown shit." You didn't make me feel anything here.
But yes, they were. Shinsuke and Boost was going to be the Heart Foundation of the of the 2022. But
you said that, and I'm like, this nigga bugging out.
No, I'm not bugging. I actually know what I'm talking about because the professor knows.
This nigga running through them Jersey streets looking for crack vials.
But let's talk about, let's celebrate that WrestleMania 2 years in a row track, and we have to acknowledge this. Celebrities have come in and kicked ass. Last year was Bad Bunny. This year is Logan Paul, the man who whipped Floyd Mayweather's ass and then puts out a 5-star match against the Mysterios looking like Kenny Omega, with his All Elite gear.
All right. We have to talk about that. All right. Hold on for a second here. Make sure my shit is right.
Us like he's reading all these comments. I mean, y'all killing him. Y'all killing him with his reactions. It's okay.
I just needed to make sure my mic was right because something told me that it might not be, so the audio in the beginning might be kind of fucked up or kind of poor. But anyway, here we go. Logan Paul was motherfucking impressive. Okay, for a guy who doesn't wrestle, I know he does take MMA training. Listen, I the boxing matches rigged. Yeah, I think some of them are. Legit fighter, I guess technically, I would probably get my ass whooped if I went in there. But if I was trained right, I'd probably fuck him up. You put me in an MMA match with him, oh, he's mine. He's toast. You put me in a boxing match, he might ring my bell. But he was fucking fantastic. Yeah. Not so much his in-ring work as far as the move sets, even though he was good at that. What he was fantastic at was the motherfucking psychology. storytelling, working that crowd. This dude pays the fucking attention. I don't really know much about him other than the fact that he has these elaborate bullshit fights. So I really don't have an opinion on him personally. I
Well,
know
the
a lot
Paul
of people
brothers
don't
with
fuck
the
with him.
the Paul brothers with the YouTube pranks and the channel that they had. That's how they started, and then they like moved on to the boxing and then MMA, like you're talking about. So yeah, and actually his brother Jake Paul on the pre-show was working the crowd with the psychology too. They were playing the bad guys. And now the debate track was, Miz and Logan Paul won. I in my head said, "Yo, is Logan Paul gonna be there for maybe like 3 months, and they can have a program where Logan Paul and Miz could be the tag team champions and beat like I saw that against RK Bro. I'm like, damn, I'm actually hyped. And then Miz did what he did, and I'm looking at
That
him like,
shit was great. Yo, Miz was so over with the crowd when he did that shit. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do here because I don't see that crowd cheering fucking Logan Paul.
yeah,
And I don't see them changing the Miz into a face. So who knows what's gonna happen. But Logan Paul needs to say fuck boxing and become a wrestler. Straight up
yeah.
and down. That nigga just needs to be all elite. No, I'm just kidding. He should be in the WWE. He needs to
Let
just
me ask
work.
Let me ask you this: would it have been better for Logan Paul to do that Miz move on the Miz instead of Miz doing what he was doing?
Yes, that would have been fantastic.
70,000 people would have been pissed, and that's the way he would have went out. And Miz could have actually turned into the babyface you're talking about. More of empathy.
The funny thing I will say, I have to criticize him on this. He was still smiling when the Miz. What was going on now? When the Miz grabbed him, he was still like.
He's like, what the fuck you doing?
That was kind of funny to me. But nah, man, this dude has fucking talent. He has real. You know what? Logan Paul has it. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Up until tonight, I didn't give a fuck about seeing him on my TV. I would not mind seeing him on Raw regularly. WrestleMania Backlash is coming up, so they're gonna build something up to that. So let's see how he does in a singles match. So up to this point, this was like, it was only the second match, but it was a match that made you forget about the first one. What match we had after that? Or what's the next match?
Well, we don't have to talk about every match, but we could talk about Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch.
Oh yes, okay. So
that should have been the main event, or the co-main event. That's the way
it should have been the main event. It should have been. It should have been before. It should have. Ronda versus Charlotte shouldn't have went on second to last. It should have been Becky versus this bitch. Which I also find it just shows you how this company does, and this is why I think about Cody and how shit might not work out after a while. But you have Sasha Banks, who's in the highest rated segments in those shows. When Sasha Banks shows up, the ratings go up in her segments. But I'm subjected to seeing Ronda versus Charlotte. I mean, we all know why they're doing it, but this is just another example of them doing stupid shit where it fucks up people like Ronda. Now, you have people that like her, but the overall majority do not. They don't care for her. Charlotte is the same way, and the WWE will try to spin that like they always did with John Cena and call her controversial, but they did the right thing here like they did with Roman. They make her a heel. So when people boo her, it just compliments her character. But she does have go away heat with a lot of people. Listen, man, I give Charlotte a lot of shit, but my honest opinion is she's nothing special. She really isn't. If she was not Ric Flair's daughter, she would not be in the position that she's in. That's it. That's it. I mean, I see her do nice shit, but I don't see her do
Andrade is gonna marry. You mean Andrade is gonna marry her because she's Ric Flair's daughter?
I think Andrade is gonna marry her because he knows it's easy to control white women like her. I think Andrade got that bitch under his fucking thumb. That nigga is fucking oozing Mexican machismo, and he is fucking he got her ass on lock. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, bro. He got that bitch doing head first dives right into the dick. So, yeah, and Ronda is Ronda. So
But in comparison to the Becky Lynch and Bianca, I mean, the pageantry was there for those two ladies. They knew what time it was. Becky with the sedan or SUV entrance, and then Bianca Belair got the drumline entrance. That was
That
like,
was
where's
pretty
Nick
cool.
Cannon? So everything was good with that. Everything was good with that match, and I
The
think
match, though.
no, it was in comparison to Charlotte and Ronda, it was light years.
Oh well, yeah, but come on. I mean, all right.
Oh,
Here's
judging on
here's
like Thunder
here's
Rosa matches. I mean, come
no,
on.
no,
This
no, no.
against WWE.
He was a problem I had with that match. You had good hard hitting spots, but you had a lot of sloppy sequences, and it kind of got better in the end. But they went the formula route of spamming the kickouts. I thought Beyonce. I thought Bianca has butterflies. I thought she was looking a little green. She's still a little green, especially when it comes to certain big matches. Uh, but overall, I was by the end of the match, I was satisfied because number one, Bianca got her win back. Number two, fucking unlike Braun Breaker at NXT 2.0, they stuck with the story and they gave this woman back her win. I honestly, I really felt
But
that.
that first 30 seconds, everybody was like, "Oh shit, they're gonna
No,
do it again."
I was saying no. I knew that wasn't happening, but I thought she was going to win it back in that time. And that's to me, that's what they should have did. I'm sorry, they should have had her fucking beat her in like 40 seconds, and then Becky Lynch could be like, "Well, I still beat you quicker than you beat me," and they have the final match, at SummerSlam, some shit like that.
Right.
But you did have the fucking match between Becky Lynch, between Charlotte and Ronda Rousey, and that shit was the fucking drizzling shits. It just was.
Because Ronda can't wrestle. Ronda doesn't know how.
And here's the problem. Here's the problem, and this goes into the Becky Lynch match because I was saying this with Becky Lynch. Bianca is not really doing too great, but a lot of that is on the fucking person who's supposed to carry that match, which is Becky. Charlotte was supposed to carry that match, and she didn't do a good job. She didn't do a good job at all. She's supposed to be the one leading that shit, and it just wasn't there. You could sit there and say that, oh, I'm being too nitpicky, or I'm looking at it too much, or I'm
You're absolutely right, but look at it this way, and I'm gonna go on Ronda's side. I'm not on Ronda's side, but I'm just saying I think Ronda's more culpable of blaming her in this sense because I think she tried to do too much. She was trying to again. I'm not joking when I say she's trying to be a young buck. She was trying to do flippy shit, and she was trying to do all these flippity dippity doos and shit, and it just looked ugly. And then when Charlotte was going to do the Andrade move where she flips and then twice and then does the knee, where the hell was Ronda going? She's like, learn your timing, bitch. That's how bad it was. Now Bianca is more, I think, is jitters and nerves because I don't think I'll say it like this. I'm not saying that she doesn't perform well when there's like 50,000 people, but she just performs different when it's a stadium crowd in comparison to maybe a low key 20,000. I think she can keep her mentals and her psyche actually more toned down when it's a lower crowd. But when it's the stadium shit, Bianca is kind of like there's more nerves and jitters to me. That's just the way I look at it. And there's where you see you sloppy. But Ronda, she's trying to prove a point and she didn't listen. That's the way I'll go with that track. That's the way I look at it. I'm not trying to save face for Charlotte, but Ronda's more culpable because she's trying.
That's fine. Listen, Ronda, at the end of the day, she's still the rookie here. But this is what I mean about Charlotte. You supposed to fucking you supposed to be the general in there, and it's not showing to me. And this is why I'm saying, they trying to hype her up. I am not taking any blame away from Ronda because it is what it is. But also, she's not the one who demanded to be put in this position. This is the WWE putting her in this position.
Right. But
because of who she is.
Yeah, but there's an ego thing with Ronda, so that's why I think she's more culpable with her match. Bianca is jitters, and of course Becky should. You're right. Becky's should be the more general type on that, carry the match, calm her down, and say, with the chin locks and all that stuff, like, calm down, Bianca, calm down. You got this. You're all right. You're all right. Charlotte can't control Ronda because Ronda's already with an ego. She's already coming in with an ego. She's coming in with all that.
You have a point there. You have a point there.
All that bravado. So she can't, Charlotte can only do so much. Charlotte could have just went off the script and just like slap her in the face, or slap the titties.
And that would have been a terrible mistake. Don't shoot on that bitch, because she could very easily kill her ass. And like, we don't want that at all. And that's probably why fucking Charlotte was not being a leader in that ring like that. You didn't see a leader. You didn't see a veteran. You didn't see a 16 how many time champions that she was in terms of. 13 in terms of this performer, to someone like you and myself. To the untrained eye, they don't know better, but to the initiated, we could see through that shit. See through that shit. Now, I understand if, shout outs to Tommy Wonder, if he was to hear what I was saying and say, yo, Track, you've never been in the ring, so you can't really be saying this shit. And you're right, but I've been watching this shit for a long time. I know what a motherfucker's supposed to do. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying I would have been better, but I'm just saying I've been watching this for a very long time, and I'm at the point now where I'm not watching as a fan anymore. I'm watching as a student, as a true observationist of what's supposed to happen. And I guess that's why, for me, a lot of time, matches to me will be like, whatever, and I'm a tough grader on certain performers, because I'm like, I know what you're supposed to do, but it seems
your
like
expectations are high. That's what it is.
Yeah. But the overall narrative amongst wrestlers and some wrestlers fans is, as long as you don't hurt nobody, and as long as you're not obviously sloppy where it takes people out of the match, you're good. That's all. That's the feeling I've always got with John Cena. That performers who defend him, cats who have in-ring workers who have got from the Hurricane to Ben Hameen to who the fuck was
Stevie?
it? Huh?
Stevie?
No, it wasn't Stevie. It was shit. It was that nigga from NXT. Forgot his fucking name. I was going at it with him with one of my original accounts, but I forgot who it was. And I was like, yo, at the end of the day, why does it seem to me that the only reason why y'all not really coming at Cena like that is because he doesn't hurt people? You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to. It's like, oh, if they don't hurt anybody, we'll give them a pass if they don't have that reputation, which I understand. But like I said, in my opinion, watching this shit, I know how something's supposed to look. And I know how people are supposed to perform at a high level. So when I look at that, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Somebody needs to take charge. It was no different. Motherfucker can say it's a shoot or a work, but it was no different when she was in there with fucking Nia Jax and they got into that shit. And people were like trying to figure out if that was a work or a shoot. At the end of the day, Charlotte didn't control the situation. Now, it could be intimidation because of the status of Nia Jax at that time, but you Ric Flair's daughter. I still think you'll have more pull over The Rock's cousin. That's just me. But anyway,
at the end of the day, Track. I mean, you're right. You watch it. We've watched it for years. We have that astute eye as a fandom, but of course, we just don't have that astute knowledge of behind the scenes business acumen just yet. We can say, if you watch it so many years, but we can't predict what's going on behind the scenes, the politics, the cadences of certain wrestlers. That's why I said, to me, I put Ronda, she's more culpable because I'm looking at it from the fandom of, I think she's coming in with a lot of ego. She's coming in with a lot of bravado, and I don't think she wanted to listen. And I looked at that match. She fucked it up a lot more than I can blame Charlotte. And again, that's why I said with Bianca Belair,
you are right.
There's jitters there, and Becky's job is to calm her down and say, you got this. Don't worry, you're doing okay. Just keep with the flow, keep with the pace. You're doing good, and she can lead her. And you can see, like you said, the match got better at the end. Ronda, you can't control Ronda because she's already getting paid. So, and you're right. Don't shoot on an MMA bitch because she might break. I'm for real. So what is Charlotte gonna do? get Andrade to get on her ass. That's what she.
You right on that, man. It's the truth.
Andrade would be Will Smith. He slapped the shit out.
So we got the fucking main event, which was Stone Cold. Is there any other matches that's worth talking about?
Well, we already talked about Cody, so we talked that to death. So we can end it with the KO show.
We did that. We said fuck the tag match.
Yeah.
And, all right, so yeah, KO and Stone Cold. So KO and Stone Cold, which I originally thought was just gonna be Stone Cold coming out, them talking back and forth, and then Stone Cold stunning his ass and pouring a bunch of fucking beer on him. But no, we had an actual fucking match.
And Track, you're big to say you was wrong. I'm big to say I was wrong, but I said this is more private because it was between you, me, and Billy Ray Valentine on the text. I said a main event is two combatants fighting. This was a segment.
No matter. Even if it was a segment, it's Stone Cold.
Once the referee came
in Texas.
Once the referee came in, it turned into a main event. That's all I'll say.
But they had to do it that way. They had to have a match. You just to end it on a segment would be kind of stupid. It's still a main event, even if it's a segment, because a main event doesn't say main event match. Main event. But we had a match nonetheless. And all I could say about the match was it was Stone Cold's last match.
Yeah. And
one only thing that really stood out was when he put that fat ass nigga on the fucking ATV and drove him up the thing. But other than that, the match itself.
But don't do that.
I wasn't on the edge of my seat.
See, this is the thing, the fandom of everybody. I mean, this Stone Cold in his 50s, we could go but then we
listen, I wasn't expecting him to do Sting shit now. I was not expecting that. I was not holding him to that standard. I'm just saying I saw a Stone Cold match. I'm okay. Sure. First of all, Stone Cold never did no shit like that in the first place. So everything we saw in that match was Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Straight up. I just didn't feel anything of it other than the fact that I'm watching Stone Cold for the first time in years. That's it.
It's a celebration. It's to bring him in.
That's the specialness of it. Yeah, exactly. That's the specialness of it. So I had to go with that. I gave it a pass. I'm just saying the match in itself, no. The moment, thumbs fucking up. Straight up. And the piece de resistance was Byron Saxton having the night of his fucking career. For Byron Saxton to get Stone Cold stunned by Stone Cold Steve Austin, it ain't gonna get no better than that. And he sold that shit Rocky-esque. That's what I was looking for. I'm like, it's not even about you getting stunned. It's about how you sell that stunner and how you make it memorable, and he fucking did it. So Byron Saxton, I give you a fucking round of applause, my friend, because you sold that shit fucking masterfully. Oversold it, comedically sold it, and sold it to a fucking T that is Stone Cold-esque. You did I wanted to be Corey Graves. I so wanted to, but I remember they're not going to let that nigga get in. I thought Stone Cold was going to end up fucking stunning all of them. I thought he was going to invite all of them in the ring, all have a beer, and he's going to stun all of them one by one.
It would have really been ridiculous if they all got stunned.
The highlight would have been if he stunned his brother. When his brother came in, I'm like, he's going to stun his fucking brother who sells Bibles, if I'm not mistaken. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
At first I said, who the fuck is this? And I'm like, oh, that's his brother. It has to be his brother.
Yeah. But it was a good night overall. I mean, we talked about everything here. So, if we're going to grade this, if I'm going to give it out of 10, and I'm not... the Rick Boots thing kind of brought it down a little bit, and then the Ronda botches. But Cody brought it up. Austin, the speciality of Austin brings it up too. The pageantry for 70,000. It ain't no 77,000. I'm gonna go with 70,000.
It damn sure wasn't no 100,000 like they were saying it was. That's for sure.
No, of course not. Especially with that stage and that setup. I'm gonna give it a nice solid 8.5. It was 8.5 out of 10. So I'm good with that.
I gave that shit a 7. Because here's what you had. Stone Cold, Logan Paul, and Cody Rhodes. Cody was the highlight of the night. Cody Rhodes had the match of the fucking night. And quite frankly...
Match of the year for WWE purposes.
Probably. But That was all it really had. The matches they didn't feel too special. They weren't really all that great, all that good in certain matches. And I give props to Dominic for showing a tribute to his father. He even down to the fucking mullet. That shit I was like, oh, this nigga here. That's what's up. I like that. But yeah, man.
Is Rey Mysterio a simp? Are you saying that? Are we all saying this? Rey Mysterio is a simp?
No, it can't be a simp because he's, it's just his stepson. It's just, it's the way it is. I mean, technically, he's still with his. Well, I don't know. Yeah, well, still with his wife.
I'm putting it out there. I mean, is Rey Mysterio Will Smith? I mean, we don't know.
He's not going out there. He's not going there slapping niggas. I mean, listen. Here's how you defend. This is how to defend your home and your wife. Okay, Conan came to fucking Rey Mysterio's house fucked up, and Rey Mysterio said straight up, "You have to leave. And if you ever come back here like this again, I will fucking kill you."
Mm-hmm.
Straight up and down. That's how you protect your fucking family. That's the true fucking story. So, that's the way it is. I give it a 7. Professor gives it 8.5. I didn't feel anything special from this other than Cody and Stone Cold. Impressed by Logan Paul. Yeah, that was it. That was Mania. And you can tell by this fucking review, Q may have given it an 8 because he really loved everything, and the fact that I got proven wrong. That too. That for you, that should have made it a fucking 10 just off that. You got to add 2 more points for that.
I can't. For that, I would have gave it 11. But I'm a.
To be honest with you, I'd rather have seen The Undertaker than Cody. To be honest, not just because I wanted to be right, but just because I wanted Taker to come out and I wanted it to be a squash match, and people were like, "Oh, that does nothing for Rollins." I'm like, "Yes, it does, because that's the fucking Undertaker. He's not coming out and getting squashed by fucking Veer. It's the fucking Undertaker."
He got squashed by Undertaker in WrestleMania.
Exactly. So that's what I thought was gonna happen, Yeah. But tomorrow we got night 2, and you know what? We'll talk about ROH tomorrow. We'll talk about Supercard of Honor tomorrow on night 2. And hopefully night 2 for me will be better than night 1. Do you top Cody Rhodes coming in? Probably not. It's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. That's the main event.
How you top tomorrow? You know how you top Cody Rhodes for tomorrow?
Have Roman Reigns win, say he's the tribal chief, and say I challenge anybody to come challenge me, and The Rock comes out and whoops his ass.
That's one. But then for the RK Bro match, that's a triple threat. You add a 4th team, and that 4th team are them boys, the Briscoe.
That would be great. I would cheer for that. I would pop my ass off for that. The reaction would probably be better than what I had tonight. But anyway, that's it for us right now. We're going to see you tomorrow night. Like, comment, subscribe. Prof, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the Pro Wrestling Reflection podcast with myself and TW, aka the Tommy Wonder, at PW Hustle Networks at podbeam.com, and find me on my Twitter at PW Hustle PROF. That's PW Hustle Prof.
And you can find me, A-Track Brown, right here, PW Hustle, doing the reactions. Don't worry, I'm gonna finish Peacemaker. I don't know if you can notice, but my house seems a little bit brighter right now. They did some painting. They finally fixed some shit. They fixed up my floor, my kitchen area and shit. Fixed up my fucking bathroom pipes, A-Track was like, I need my shit to be fucking nice here. So they had to fix it up. I had to put everything back that they fucking moved. So I couldn't do no reactions and shit. And I wasn't, trying to do my regular reactions outside my comfort zone. So here I am. We're back. Gonna be coming at you with those reactions. Walking Dead, that's coming too. And you can find me on Twitter at A-Track Dastardly, the number 8, TRAC Dastardly. And don't forget, hit that fucking notification button. Sign up to the PW Hustle group, the PW Hustle Facebook group, all right? That's where we at. And PW Hustle Facebook group too. Sign up to that one. Don't forget, fucking Podbean. PWR, the Pro Wrestling Reflection. The Ridiculous Random Podcast with Big Ray and Colin Wysong. Also, check that shit out. Check out the PW Hustle Zone with Michael Davis. Check out the Destino Podcast on Podbean with fucking Michael Jargo. You know what I'm saying? Check out America's Minds with Jamal, the man without a throne, Snow. Subscribe to that shit. All right? We out. Peace.